Hey everybody, relax. I'm Uncle fucking Vacation Frogman. It doesn't matter, kids. Hell, well, welcome to the show. I'm Uncle whatever the fuck you call me, because names are an arbitrary distinction created by human consciousness. And today on this episode of the show, we're going to talk about something that's really important to me. Every once in a while, sometimes we talk about topics and themes on this show, and sometimes we fucking review products and pieces of media. And today we're going to review a piece of media. Look up at the big board and take a look, and we'll see. Today, kids, we're talking about the new movie that was just released online and I guess maybe in theaters. I don't know. I didn't go in a motherfucking theater. There's a fucking pandemic on. You think I'm gonna go fucking sit in a movie theater with a bunch of fucking strangers? You think they clean those seats? It's a fucking airborne particle, man. You don't want to be fucking breathing recycled air, man. That's no good for you. It's no good for nobody. No good for nobody. So anyways, I watched this movie from the comfort of my own home, which is a way that you can legally do it if you want to legally do it that way. And I fucking watched Bill and Ted Face the Music. This is the sequel to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Movies from the past, which I fucking loved, man. I fucking loved those movies when I was growing up. I was a huge fan of Bill and Ted. I was specifically a big fan of Ted. I was a really big fan of Keanu Reeves, but as the years go by, you realize, like, man, Bill and Ted they're like one unit, you know? They're one thing. And Alex Winter, man, he's the guy who played Bill. He's an incredible guy, man. He's done shit like he did a fucking documentary on the Panama Papers. And I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of fucking stupid, useless things now about entertainment and media and all that, but him doing the Panama Papers is easily the most important thing connected to all of this shit. And that's what I should go watch and what I should talk about. I should do a fucking episode on the Panama Papers. Yeah, but I'm not going to do that right now because that's real dry. And we want to talk about Bill and Ted Face the Music, man. Bill and Ted Face the Music. Bill and Ted Face the Music was... Bill and Ted, the original Bill and Ted movies were written by Ed Solomon and Chris Matheson. And they wrote this new one as well. So, and it's the original, you know, the two original cast, and they got a bunch of other people doing cameos from the original movies. They're coming in and doing stuff. So, and then it was directed by Dean Parisot. Dean Parisot, who I don't really know too much about. I know that he did Galaxy Quest fucking 21 years ago, and he's done 2 other movies since then. That's fucking crazy, man. Over 20 years, this guy has directed 4 different movies. Over 30 years, he's directed 7 different movies. What a career, man. What a life. Anyways, I think he's pretty cool. Oh my God. This is the guy who directed Bill and Ted. The guy who directed Bill and Ted, he was married to the woman who directed all the who edited all the Quentin Tarantino movies, fucking Sally Menke. Holy shit, man, I'm such a huge fan of hers. She passed away a few years ago, and I don't think Quentin Tarantino's movies will ever be the same. I don't think cinema will ever be the same with her passing, man. Sally Joanne Menke. She was fucking incredible. That has absolutely nothing to do with Bill and Ted, but she was married to the guy who directed the movie, which I think is really interesting. Anyway, the reason that the Bill and Ted movies are all consistently what they are, be that good or ill, is because they have the same consistent talent working on them. Man, when I was a kid, I used to think this all the time. Man, people would be like, we're gonna do a comic book spin-off to Army of Darkness. Remember the movie Army of Darkness? We're gonna do a comic book spin-off. And even then, I would fucking say to somebody of like, well, is it gonna be written by the guy who wrote the original Army of Darkness? Because otherwise, it's just gonna be a fucking parody. It's just gonna be like somebody doing an impression of it. And that fucking sucks, man. That gets into that whole thing of like, the worst episodes of The Simpsons are the ones where they're being written by the fans. You don't want things to be written by fans. I mean, you do. You want people who fucking love things, but you want people who fucking understand things as well. So this new Bill and Ted movie, not the original guy who directed the first 2 movies. I don't know who that is. I'm not looking it up right now. But Ed Solomon, Chris Matheson, man, those guys, I think they're the ones who created the characters of Bill and Ted. They did it as like an improv class thing. There were a couple of characters those dudes would play. And then they made a whole movie about them fucking traveling through time and having a crazy adventure. And then they made a sequel movie where the characters died and like totally went to like fucking heaven and hell and fucking had more adventures. And now they have a 3rd movie where the characters who were supposed to like fucking do all these great things with their life, fucking, man, come see me about that. Fucking, you want to do a story about somebody who was supposed to do something amazing with their life and didn't. fucking, you're watching that show right now. Anyway, they were supposed to fucking have this great destiny, and they fucked up their destiny, and now they're just these middle-aged dudes with kids. And it's like, man, are you even gonna appreciate your destiny? Because if you don't, and this is kind of the plot of the movie, is like, if you guys can't fucking write a great song that unifies the entire world in harmony and creates a harmonic resonance that travels throughout the fucking cosmos, then the whole fucking universe is going to be destroyed. So here we are. Here we're sitting. Here we are doing our funky dance, our funky thing. We're watching this Bill and Ted thing, and it was... Here we go. What did I think? What do I feel about any of this? Well, let me tell you, I enjoyed it. It was a weird movie. It was weird. It was ups and downs and twists and turns, and there were some interesting cameos and guest stars. Here's my thing I'm going to tell you. I feel like you could see the limitations of the budget. You know, I feel like the script was probably about a half hour longer, and they maybe just didn't film or include a whole bunch of scenes that were originally planned. There were a handful of like background characters that felt like they had much larger roles that had been sort of cut down, and that there were additional scenes that were missing. And if I'm being entirely harsh, I would have to say like the last 5 to 10 minutes of the movie kind of drags. Like once they come up with a solution for the problem and they're just doing their thing, it wasn't like, it's just like, that could have been a minute and a half and I would have been just as happy. It didn't need to be that. Like the fun part was the bogus journey of them getting there. That was the excellent adventure. It's weird that they changed the title. It's weird. Like, I understand why they say face the music, and it makes sense. Like, because they're, hey man, it's time to face the music. Like, that makes sense as a thing. But at the same time, like, excellent adventure, a bogus journey. Bill and Ted's. But I mean, they did good, they did bad, and that sort of language doesn't really have a, like, what is there, a moderate thing? Bill and Ted's Most Mundane Triumph? Bill and Ted's Most Mundane Triumph. That would be a good title. That would be something. And then it would just be about them. Man, can I pitch a new Bill and Ted movie that would just be about them, like, learning to not be rock stars and just be of, like, hey, maybe we're just ordinary people and that's okay. Maybe we don't have to be the biggest rock stars in the entire universe to be acceptable. Maybe we can just be good dads to our kids. And that is kind of one of the messages of this movie, which is, I don't know, maybe actually now that I think about it, maybe that was the entire message of the movie, and that is a really good message for a movie to have. Maybe you don't have to be the coolest person in the entire universe. Maybe you just have to be nice to somebody. I feel like that's the core message of Bill and Ted, and that's a fucking beautiful message to pass on to people. I'm so glad they fucking made these movies, man. I was obsessed with Bill and Ted when I was a young man. I fucking dyed my hair to look like Ted. I tried to sew Ted's jacket in home ec class. I fucking wrote Wild Stallions in all my school books. I was fucking into it, man. I fucking loved it. I read the comic book. I had a poster for the comic on the wall. I fucking love those guys. So getting to see them come back, this was not disappointing. A lot of things that come back these days, they're real fucking disappointing, man. They're not what you want them to be. But this was a lot of fun. Bill and Ted Face the Music was a good movie and a good time, and I'm really glad I saw it, man. I'm really glad that I had that experience. I hope they make more of them. I hope they do 2 or 3 more Bill and Ted movies, man. I don't even give a fuck. I don't think they will, though. Probably not gonna fucking happen. But whatever, man. That's just me, man. That's just me seeing things the way that I want to see things. So, you know, you gotta fucking do what you gotta do. Anyways, I'm Uncle fucking Duckface McGee, and I'm Uncle fucking Crap in a Hat, and I was here telling you about whatever we're talking about this week, a TV show or a movie or a thing. You know, we do reviews, or we talk about products, and sometimes just talk about shit that I saw in the news. Anyway, fucking share, like, subscribe, do internet things, or fucking don't, or leave me a like, or fucking wander off and eat your boogers. Fucking, I don't control you. I don't control your mind. You're gonna fucking free soul is gonna do whatever the fuck you want to do. So fucking have a good day, kids. Thank you so much for listening. Are we done? All right, Bill and Ted's fucking Face the Music. Fucking 19 out of 20 points, man. I fucking loved it. You go see it too, man. Support your local fucking Bill and Ted. I've been Uncle fucking Teacup in a Hellstorm, and fucking you've been listening to my show. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. Bye.
yeah, that's all she wrote.